Welcome to Wrong Time Watch. My name is Kevin, and today we're going to try out the Tool Watch Essential Chronograph on a number of different straps. I have a pile of straps here. I'm not sure which ones to try out, so maybe I'll just try out a bunch of them. I have some rubber straps, quite a bit different variation of straps here. I'm going to try this with one NATO strap. I'm not sure how it's going to work with NATO straps. I think the lug holes may be a little close to the case, but we'll find that out here. So this is the factory strap. It's a canvas, leather-backed canvas strap. It's a nice looking strap here, and it's fairly comfortable on wrist. I really haven't had any issues with it. I haven't worn it a ton, and I do prefer my watches on bracelets, so there is that as well. But I think this watch will look great on a number of straps. So here we go. I'll be pausing the video a lot and putting on the straps off camera just to save time here. Keep the chronograph running. It's a Seiko Mecha Quartz. The crystal, I believe, is a hardened mineral crystal. I don't have my notes down here, but if you've seen the full presentation, I'll link the full presentation to this video as well, so you can get all those specs. 38 millimeter in diameter. I think it's around 12 thick. So a nice wearing watch here. So I'll switch the first one out here on camera, and then the rest of them I'll do off camera. Actually, I'll put the one on here that I demonstrated during the full video. This Montreux leather strap, the Epsom leather strap. Very comfortable. It doesn't feel like it needs any break-in. Haven't worn it all that much, but it's a nice looking strap. It should last a long time, and it's supposed to be somewhat water resistant with the Epsom leather treatment process. And it has a nice little bit of texture to it as well. So looks pretty cool. And this is the Montreux strap. I have a discount code in the description, video description. I'll have some Artem straps. I have some straps, Straphabit straps. So this strap is more comfortable than the factory strap, but I haven't worn the other one a bunch, so with a little bit of break-in, I'm sure it'll be just as comfortable. So if you could let me know in the comment section which strap you like the most. I appreciate hearing your feedback. Also let me know if you have a pile of straps that you swap out with your watch. Alright, let's get the next one on wrist. Actually, you know, I have another strap. I want to try this with a white strap. I have to think about where I have it, so let's try that one next. And here we have it on the white Montreux FKM rubber strap. It is a bright white. It usually sits, it's usually on this watch, sitting in the watch box, so I had to remember where I had it, but yeah, this thing's really bright white. So let's try this one on wrist. Just trying to remember if I had the other one on wrist, and I did, the leather one, the Epsom leather. You know, I prefer the feel of just plain FKM rubber. It feels better on wrist, but I do like the look of a leather strap. This one here, it's a little bit too bright for me. It looks good though. I mean, yeah, it looks good. Not exactly my style, but I think it's a good looking strap on here, and again, super comfortable. I do like the squared off lugs. Actually, this watch here has the squared off lugs as well. I do like how that looks with a strap. Not so much with a bracelet, but this watch doesn't come on a bracelet, so I think it looks pretty good. Let me know what you think. So now I have it on a Straphabit. This is also a thinner FKM rubber strap. This also comes with the deployant clasp, which is nice and easy to get on wrist. This one's a little bit long for my 6.5 inch wrist. You have a little bit more tail to contend with, but I suppose you can always cut that off. Just a minor, not really complaint about the watch strap, but it is nice to have a deployant just to be able to throw it on wrist. It's a little bit tighter on me. I think I had it on a larger watch, so a little bit on the tight side, but works out pretty well here. So quite the contrast between the black and the white. The white looks good. It really does. I don't know if I'd wear that or not. I might try that. But I think I'm most comfortable with a black strap. All right, let's try some color here again. Okay, so very similar to the factory strap. This is looks to be a canvas strap backed by leather. This is a Notice strap. I saw it in my box of straps. I don't exactly remember how I got this, but I have it. Looks to be like a khaki or a tan type color, and I think it looks pretty good. I mean, really can't find a bad strap for a black dial with the white indices here. So something a little different. Man, you know, maybe I should play around with straps more often. I just usually wear the same old watch on bracelet. Actually, if you really want to know, this is what I've been wearing quite a bit lately. Just throw it on wrist, on a bracelet. Nothing to think about as far as matching or coordinating, which I really don't do anyway. But I like that. See, I don't know. So should you wear, if you're wearing khaki pants, should you wear this khaki or tan colored strap? And then does it need to match the color perfectly? You know, I don't know. I'm really not much into fashion. I suppose watches are fashion, but I'm just a watch nut here. Yeah, so looks pretty nice. On to the next one. So again, some fun with color here. We have the orange Montreux FKM rubber strap. I wore this quite a bit, actually on the Boulder again. But let's get it on here. Maybe it could be Halloween. We got the black and orange color combination here. Looks like I can get a little bit, I was going to say I thought I could get a little bit tighter with this one, but that's a good position. I'm the second tightest position. My 6.5 inch wrist. This watch does have fairly short lugs. So I think this is the third Montreux strap I've tried on here. Then we have this gray one. I'll just hold it up on here. Actually, let's take this off real quick. I'm a big fan of those quick release pins. Just makes this so much easier. I know some folks are concerned they're a little bit weaker, but I don't know. I've not had a problem with them yet. So there we go on the gray strap. You know, gray straps always surprise me. I have not seen a watch yet that looks bad on a gray strap. I suppose maybe if it had like a gray dial or something that didn't quite match the strap, then it might look a little funky, but other than that, I think gray straps look really good on watches. Kind of surprise me every time. Oh, what the heck, let's throw it on wrist. I must have this on a little bit looser of a hole position because I got this one on easier than the black one. Again, same thing, Straphabit, the Deployant FKM rubber strap. I will try to leave links to these straps if I remember to do that. Yeah, it looks good. Alright, we have two more straps. We have a sailcloth, and then the last one, we'll see if it works on here or not. So here we have it on the Artem strap, sailcloth strap with the RM style deployant clasp. I believe that's what they call it. You can see on their website they have two different styles of clasp. This one here, you can just swap out your buckle and tang, take them out, and then install this one. So it's just drop in. They have some other ones that are more similar to this, where it's a loopless type system, and the straps need to be made for the loopless type strap here, which this here is. Again, this is Straphabit, sorry, right there, Straphabit. Yeah, and this is Artem strap. So let's get this one on wrist. Takes a little bit more effort to get it on wrist here. It's not a big deal. Do I have that on? Might have that one on upside down. It doesn't really matter, but there it is. So yeah, I do have the little tail hanging out. The Artem straps are a little bit shorter than most straps, so they work a little better for my smaller wrist, my 6.5-inch wrist. This does take some break-in period though. I do have their new, you know, I'm gonna have to grab that strap. I have the new loopless Hydroflex strap, so we'll throw that on here as well. So here is Artem Strap's latest strap. This thing is super comfortable. It is expensive though. It's over $300, the strap and the clasp combination here, but it's been living on my Speedmaster. I did just give this a quick whine because I last wore it on Tuesday for Speedy Tuesday. But anyway, let's get this one off wrist, show them side by side, and then I will install this strap off camera. I normally go with just plain black straps, but I wanted to try the black and the white to go. I specifically had this strap in mind for the Speedmaster, but of course it'll look good on this watch as well. So let's get on here. The funny thing about this is the watch is $250. The strap is, like I said, over $300. So the strap is more expensive than the watch. But this is their Hydroflex. It's the FKM rubber back, and then the sailcloth style outer here material. Very comfortable on wrist. Did I put this on? I might have put that on upside down. But like I said, it doesn't really matter with the deployant class which way you do it. The Seiko watches come, I think, the other way around, so just depends on your preference. They both work. Yeah, that looks good. I would say this is probably, this or the white would be my favorite. And so lastly, I want to try this FKM rubber NATO two-piece, whatever. I guess they're not technically NATO straps, but you know what this strap is, so a pass-through strap. Let's try that on this next. I'm going to have to put some spring bars in here, as I don't have extra spring bars. I do have extra spring bars, but the watch comes on a quick release strap, so you don't get extra spring bars with the watch. That's what I'm trying to say. So let's see how this works. So when I bought my spring bar tool from Esslinger, I also bought a couple of 10 packs of spring bars. So I bought 22, 19, and 20. I don't really need the 19s anymore since I sold my Seiko SJE093. That's a 62, the latest version of the 62 MOS. They made 1,965 of them. Kind of regret selling it, but I just wasn't wearing it, so I figured it had to go. Okay, so this is a fairly thin material, actually, being rubber, and it looks like it. Yeah, it kind of works. It works. I'd like the lugs to be a little longer for pass-through straps, not NATO straps. Don't call them NATO straps unless you paid the patent fee or whatever for that. So looks like it kind of works. The straps kind of loop up a little bit more than I would like, but if it was a soft fabric strap, it may lay down a little flatter. I'm just not really a fan of NATO straps or pass-through straps. I like the look. I like the idea. I don't really care for how they fit on wrist. Yeah, I know there's a way where you can do like a loop-de-loop underneath or something, so it's not on top or whatever, but I don't know. A little bit too much to finagle with. Actually, I'm kind of messing with it here. This one's a little bit different of a strap. This is also from Straphabit. You can see right there. Someone's probably yelling at me here. How in the world? Get in there. Anyway, then you're supposed to loop this thing back down. Whatever, NATO strap guys. And actually I should have pulled the watch down more, because this keepers down here. I should have centered it better in the keepers, but you get the idea here. So looks like you can wear this with pass-through, NATO, whatever straps. Again, it's just not, they're not really for me, those straps, but looks like it'll work on here. So the video went kind of long, but I went through quite a few straps, but let me know what your favorite strap was. I'd like to hear your opinion. Let me get this off wrist and I can kind of show it to you. I think I already did that, but so this being a rubber strap, it's a little harder to pull it through. But anyway, you get the idea. There it is. Alright, that will conclude this video. As always, thank you for your time and thank you for watching.